Hey, everybody. We are coming to you for the finishing forecast for the second week in a row on YouTube. Claire is very excited about that. It is the end of summer. The children are getting bored. And so I have a lovely assistant today to help hand me things. So thank you for tuning in on YouTube. We've had a lot of really great feedback that people are loving this new format. We're getting used to it, and so we are happy that you're kind of along for the ride. A couple of things to point out to you. Number one, on YouTube, you can actually stream on your television. So if that's not something you've done before, you can find that app on your TV and you can actually put this on the jumbo screen. Do we want to be on the jumbo screen? Not really, but we want you to be able to do that so you can see the finishing. And then also, when you're watching on your iPad or on your phone, you can actually turn your device horizontally and then hit this button that says expand, which will make it the full screen. And you can actually touch it to pause. You can pinch it and pull it to zoom in and out. And so we think that might help with the ability to see stitches and minor details in the canvases. So just a little tip on that. And was that all the notes I was supposed to share today? Oh, I got one more. The minute I said the question, I knew the answer. We, as a reminder, since this is not live on our Instagram page, we are recommending that if you have questions about designers, questions about types of finishing, questions about ordering something that you've seen here, or even something adjacent, be sure to email us at stlneedlepoint@gmail.com or call us 314-432-2555. All right, so email and phone are the very best ways to get in touch with us directly about these products. So again, thank you for tuning in here on YouTube. We are enjoying this format, and I think we're gonna dive right in. So my assistant's gonna go over to her spot and be prepared to hand me some of these items. So away we go. So first we're gonna talk about the flat pieces. So you might think about flat pieces mostly as ornaments, but we also have some acrylic easel backs. If you can see that okay in that camera there, is that right? So these slide out as a reminder. They can lay flat or they can lay as little stand-ups. So this, oh my gosh, these are our shop samples. Stop, I'm so excited. So I'm gonna show them, hold on just a second, one at a time. I am not gonna get their names right, but these are the nutcrackers from Maggie at MHB, and they all have really fun names. And our shop girls, I think still Julie and Megan, I'm gonna hand those off, are working through stitching all of these and doing stitch guides for them. So they've done a really nice job. If you're interested in any of these nutcrackers, you can go on our website. The majority of our stitch guides are now on our website, and you can both purchase the canvases. Some of these are on pre-order, and or the stitch guides. So I'm so excited that these are back as our shop samples. So exciting. We do have this one in. I cannot remember his name, but we have this guy in. He's with the yellow background and available. So you would search Horatio, Horatio, Horatio on our website if you're interested in purchasing that canvas. All right, a couple more easel backs. This one is an SCT design out of the Kansas City Needlepoint Designer Collection. So again, this is an easel back with the acrylic little stand in back. The stitches on here are pretty cute. You guys, I'm wearing contacts today. This could be a challenge. Oh, I forgot. I have my glasses right here. So cute little, looks like a little bit of straw silk on that stem, couldn't be the word, and some great little geometric stitches there in the background. So we love some gingham around here. So this is for Lori. So great job, Lori. Okay, one more easel back. Thank you, Claire, for directing me. So we actually have a whole slew of flat ornaments here. And then we have a couple more of these easel backs. So as a reminder, I like to actually tack a little pin here to keep these, the hanger kind of taut and flat. So we'll grab a straight pin and pull that down. But so this is, it can be hung as an ornament, and it can also be standing up like an easel back. This little guy is out of the CBK collection. I cannot remember the artist, but there's a whole series of these little black dogs. It reminds us of Rookie, doesn't it, Claire? So little black dog, and then look at how cute that fabric is. It goes very nicely with the little pine needles there. So, so cute. And that is for Heather. So Heather has this little guy, and then she's also got another way to flat finish an item is to do it by a bag tag. So Heather, this is so cute. So this says 30A, and it's a little matchbox. I don't know if you can see the little match heads here. I'm not familiar with the designer on this one, but there are a lot of people doing these little match collections. But how cute is this as a little bag charm? Do you see this little lobster? Well, I guess that's a little mini lobster clasp there. And a tiny little loop has been created in the seam there, and then finished with this little clasp so you can hang it. We actually sell what are they called? They're like little wire rings or mini carabiners. I think carabiner, I've never really known how to say that word, but it's sort of a little metal loop that you could hang on your bag, and then you could slip these on them. That would be one way to do it. Or if you've got a little D-ring or a little bit of metal on your bag, you could clip that on there like that. So that's another way to do a flat finish. And then of course, the standard little round ornament finish. This one, Cuba, very cool. And it's got some great stitching on the front. So July 2025, that was a little over a year ago now that this person got to go to Cuba. That's kind of on my bucket list. I would love to go there. The buttonhole stitch for that little magnolia is exquisite, if you can see that there. Otherwise, some of the little details are really, the little stitching details are really special on there. Just a little bit of sparkle, open background. Love that for Heather. Well done. Okay. Let's see, what are we gonna do next? You wanna do this row? All right, Claire, my assistant is directing me to go down this row. So next for Selby, we have two little flat ornaments. So this one is, I cannot remember who this designer is that does this, but there's an artist out there who does, you can send your child's handwriting and they will put it on this little piece of paper. And I just think it's just the cutest way to remember how the little people signed their names when they were just learning to write. I love the backwards S. You see that? So, so sweet. The 3-color cord gives us some pizzazz. And then we've also got those polka dot fabric on the back to give that, it kind of goes with the front is what I was trying to say, that rainbow color. And then of course a Stitch It's Angel. This is one of the OG Stitch It's Angels. She's got the holly in her hand, and she is very, very cute. Got the gingham on the back with the red wings. So very sweet. Love those Stitch It's Angels. I just had the chance to go to KC Needlepoint, and as you might imagine, they have an entire wall of Stitch It's Angels. Of course, KC Needlepoint Designers is who the Stitch It's Angels are distributed through. So if you haven't had a chance to get to KC Needlepoint, it was a great shop. They had tons of, first of all, tons of helpers, great flat space, really great canvas selection, tons of canvases. So it was a lot of fun. I was glad I had a chance to do that. All right, this is for Connie. Connie did the Stitch Rock Polar Bear. I think he has a name. I think his name might be Parker. Are we good here? All right, and so Parker the Polar Bear is part of Laura from Stitch Rock's series of polar. I think she's got like a whole, she's got like a, oh, there's a walrus and there's a few others. They're so cute. I'm looking at this. The stitching on here is, the background is your basic basket weave. But then I think she's done a diagonal mosaic on his body, which gives that kind of a look of fur, which is so, so cute. So love him. Great job, Connie. All right, next, I picked this up before we got started, and this is so stinking cute. I could hardly stand it. This is for Jessica. Jessica, I think, took a page out of Morgan, from Morgan Julia Designs book. So first of all, it looks like a darling little jean jacket with a bandana, right? The stitching is absolutely adorable. But wait, there's a disco back. Holy cow, is that awesome or what? This fringe, these beads have been attached to look like the fringe, and it is so stunning. I'm trying to see here on the front. I think that there are, yep, I think she used one of those beads. Actually, it might just be a little French knot for the little buttons on the front. Sorry, I'm never sure how close I should be getting here. My director is helping me out, but the beaded fringe back is just absolutely stunning. Now I'm gonna have to figure out a way to introduce that to some sort of a canvas I'm doing. So I'm not exactly sure. my guess is that this canvas was one larger piece of canvas with both the front and the back, and she stitched them both and did a two-sided with our little hanger there. Cute, 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 Jessica. I love that. Oh my goodness, and now we have another one of these little handwritings. So, oh, this is so precious. So you can have a fabric ruffle added to your finishing. It's a little more difficult for the finishers, so there's an extra cost involved. But the back, and look at Love Mommy. I mean, can you even, Alice? This is absolutely precious. And Jessica sent us the pastel. I shouldn't say pastel. I was looking at it thinking how cute these are pastel crayons. She sent us the fabric with the crayons on them so that we could use it for her finishing, which is always an option. We advise that you send us quilting cotton for the backings of the ornaments, especially from the Spoonflower. There's a cotton sateen. I think that's an option on Spoonflower if you're using that option. But otherwise, there's a lot of different ways that you can provide fabric to us. We will let you know if we receive it and the fabric either isn't the right weight or the right texture, and or if we have enough or not enough. So it's always good to send us at least a yard, especially when we're going to be doing ruffles and things because of the repeat. So if you have any questions about sending us fabric, definitely give us a call. We can typically, depending on the type of finish, give you the estimate of how much fabric and what type of fabric we're going to need for that type of a finish. This is also for Jessica and her little collection. So cute. She's got matching palm trees on the back here, the pink and green. And then I believe that this is for a restaurant that I've never been to. Isn't it Gasparilla's? I think that's a place anyway in Florida, but guy's really cute. He's got his martini and she stitched him in that awesome pink silk lame that I love so much that I honestly am not sure if we have in stock or not because I'm not on the floor, but well done, Jessica. If anybody wants that color, comment, and I'm happy to look up that SL color for you because it's one of my favorites. All right, next is for Debbie. And I was just saying that I didn't have my glasses on. And when I walked up to this table, I was like, oh shoot, that ornament has something stuck in it. Oh no, it's on purpose and it's awesome. So this is the bag charm size of the Voodoo Doll. And I believe this comes from, is it Needle Arts? It's our friends in New Orleans who do, I think 3 or 4 sizes of this Voodoo Doll now. But I don't know, can you see how she's got the little pins stuck in there? Oh my gosh. And the hair is uncut turkey work. It's an over dye. In fact, first I thought that it was the straw silk that had been shredded, but I think that this is just an over dye cotton and it just looks awesome. I've been wanting to stitch this one, but every time I go to their website, they're out. So we might have to try to make a note to order some of these Voodoo Dolls. But the little pins through the heart are just killing me, Debbie. Well done, very cute. I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a little velvet back with all a one color cording. And I really like how the one color cording in particular on this piece allows all the other colors to kind of stand out. So very well done, Debbie. Very cute. Okay, another Stitch It's Angel. This is for our friend Lane. Lane did the little Stitch It's Angel. Oh, and what she did is so cute. So I'm going to flip around to the back. So this, does it say CJ or SJ? So I'm wondering if it was a school because there's a plaid back here. I don't know, but SJ 23 2024 must mean something to them. But Cambry, so cute. And it's always amazing to me how many stitches that they can get in on these little Stitch It's Angels. There's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of room for some embellishment. And this little velvet tacked on bow on her hair is so cute. I love it. Nice job, Lane. Yeah, Lane did provide that fabric to us. So I'm wondering if it's like a school uniform skirt or a special fabric of some kind. So, okay. I was just talking to someone, I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to check. I know they told me not to spend time looking for designers, but I couldn't help myself. And I wanted to confirm. This is I Love Lucy. And it is in the style of the Moore, M-O-O-R-E. Laura Moore is the designer of Moore Stitching. And she has a whole series of these. I think it was a couple weeks ago we showed the ones that we had, but we cannot keep these in stock. They're so funny and they're so delightful. And there's these canvases are printed, so sometimes you have to make some decisions about where you're going to lay your stitches in. So I would not say that these are necessarily beginner friendly, but one is cuter than the next. And this person's got it's Michelle, has some French knots in the hair for Lucy, and the stitching is so perfect. But they've got, let's see, Ina Garten and Snoop Dogg and Martha, and I mean, you name it, Amelia Earhart, like every single iconic person you can imagine. And if she hasn't done it yet, she's probably going to. Is available from More Stitching. So very, very cute, Michelle. And I love the I Love Lucy fabric. So perfect with the heart right in the center. Did she provide that? Yes, she did. All right. And then also an canvas from the KC Needlepoint Designers is this cute Boo. Love the fabric on the back of that too. That was also something that she provided. What I love, I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again because I just can't help myself. So this person used all tent stitches in the entire thing, except for on the broom where you can see those little straight stitches. And that to me is very cool use of thread and specialty stitches, because it really, everything else kind of rests, and then you're like, oh, look at how cute that little brushy broom is. So I love a well-placed doodad and a well-placed specialty stitch. So very, very sweet. Love that canvas. Thank you. My assistant's doing a great job of keeping things up here for me. Oh my gosh. Okay, whose is this? This is for Deborah. I never watched this show. Did anybody else in the building? Anybody West Wing fans? I never watched West Wing, but I know that people love it. And okay, I don't know what this means. This must be an inside joke, but West Wing, it says, "What's next?" I don't know if that's a line from the show or maybe an inside joke for either the person who stitched this or the recipient. But again, look at this well-placed doodad. A little bead right in the spot where the little like the button to turn on and off the TV. It's so cute. I love that. And then again, the stripes. So very beautiful basic basket weave stitching. Although I think that could be an overdye sparkle in the letters, but very pretty. And what's next? I don't know, Deborah. What is next? What's next is your juicy fruit. How cute is this? So I'm not sure that we can get these canvases anymore. But many of these licensed pieces have been pulled off the market for obvious reasons. It's funny, I was talking to somebody, they were like, why could we get these before? And I said, one of the cool things about needlepoint is that it's art, and it was pretty quiet for a while. But now that we are like on the scene in a big way, people are paying more attention, people meaning attorneys and businesses and product developers. And so a lot, unfortunately, I understand it, but it's unfortunate that we've gotten more attention and a lot of these kind of iconic brands have come out of needlepoint. But anyway, nevertheless, Deborah got the juicy fruit, and look at how cute the back is in all yellow for the juicy fruit. Sparkles on the letters and sparkles on the foil on the gum stick there. So really, really cute. So nice job, Deborah. Here we go. What's up next? Blueberries for Sal. I bet you this is a Jessica Tongle. Is this a book? It must be a book that I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to get it's swinging in the camera. Blueberries for Sal must be a little cover of a book. I love the navy. Look at can you see that tone on tone? Really sweet. That's a subtle way to do embroidery. I think I mentioned this last time that unless you ask us to do a specific color on the back or to do tone on tone, typically the finishing team and our embroiderers kind of just choose what they think looks best. But this to me must have been a special request, because typically we wouldn't have put it on the bottom or in tone on tone. But I like how that looks. It looks really great. So Blueberries for Sal. Oh, thank you. Claire likes this one, and I know why, because it's pink and purple. This is for Lori. Lori, the colors on this are exquisite, and I really like that background. I got to get another quick look at it to see. I think it's it's just a variation of like a Byzantine variation, I guess, because it's got that ziggy zaggy with the little butterflies, but it's sweet because it kind of reminds you that the butterflies are like flying in the air. So very, very cute. Baby sleeping sign. I like the pink and the purple. And then this must be for baby Sophia. How sweet is that? All right, Lori, well done. Okay, thank you, assistant. I've got a couple more flatbacks here. This appears, yep, here's what my guess is. This is for Stephanie. So Stephanie did 2 of the Susan Roberts. Well, I think these are Susan Roberts. Ugh, I better check myself. I'm always embarrassed to say when I'm wrong. Yes, these are Susan Roberts. So as a reminder, here in our collective of businesses, I own the Susan Roberts Needlepoint Art, and we distribute those canvases. But there are so many new designers out there that oftentimes some of the art begins to look a little like, and so I'm always embarrassed if I mix up a designer for one of the canvas companies that we represent. But in any event, this was in fact Susan Roberts, and this is, I believe, the crane. I think that this is a 4 coaster series, but in this case, this customer did 2. So she did the flamingo and the crane, and they are both without a cord because they are in fact coasters. There's several different ways you can ask us to do coasters. We can do them with cork on the back. These have been done in a really supple velvet, and it's like the perfect color for the thread that was used. So I don't know if you can catch a look at that, how great those colors look. But you can have acrylic self-finishing coasters, and these pop right in. And or a friend of mine, my friend Melissa McLeod at the Wool and the Floss, blew my mind one time when she said, wait, you just flip the coasters over and you set the drink on the back. And I was like, wait, what? So great idea. I never did that. I never knew that until she taught me that. But these were not cork backed. These were just simply velvet back. And ooh, this is really pretty too. So this again does not have a hanger. This is a really beautiful geometric piece. I think I saw in the paperwork it's from Penny Lynn. I don't know which of the designers out of the Penny Lynn collective that this belongs to, but it's very pretty for Stephanie. And again, since it didn't have the hanger, my guess is that that might either be going into an acrylic, self-finishing acrylic piece, and or don't sleep on the fact that you could get yourself a little easel and just sort of set this on an easel in a spot in your house or in your office. This is very pretty for Stephanie. I hope that's for you, Stephanie, because of the S on there. So good for you for stitching for yourself. I don't do that enough. Okay, these are for Tanya. Tanya, I'm trying to get the perspective of this. Okay, I think I got it. So this is a sweet little angel. Do you see that? And you can't see the angel's face, but you can see her wings, and you can see that she's holding a candlestick out in front. So it took me a second to understand that perspective, but I really think that's very sweet. You can see her halo. There's some, oh my gosh, I think she's got some beads. I don't know, can you see that? You might be able to zoom in on your camera at home, but there's little beads for that halo. And then this is a very shapely little ornament with some beautiful velvet and a, of course, a little year. That's a really pretty gold color that they've used to embroider that on the back. All right, Tanya also did this cute little, it looks kind of like an egg, and maybe it's a bag charm because, or a hanger of some kind, because if you tell us that you want this to hang, of course, what we have to do is make sure that the cord can flip through. And the reason for that is so that you can do this. Did you see how I just magically did that little loop there? But you can't do that unless the cord is large enough for the actual piece to slip through. So always let us know if you're using something as a hanger. This would be very cute to hang off of like a basket handle. It doesn't have to be a bag. It could be like at Easter Bunny, like a little basket handle. It could hang on any number of things. Even if you had like a dresser drawer that had a little like a hook, you could hook put this through and hang it. So lots of different ways you can use these, not just for a bag tag, but this also has some really well placed little beads. I don't know if you can see that there's some tone on tone beads. Am I getting too close for you? We're good. Okay. So the tone on tone beads look really awesome there too. So, and then lastly, 2 more sweet little hearts. This one says, oh, stop. I love this. Oh, this is so darling. Are these names? Oh, how cute is this? Okay. So this little one says, I love you. And then the little tag on the back says, love mom. So good. We used to sell these. I'm not sure if we still have them here in the building or not, but if we don't, we should get some more of those, because I should think about that. Or does that say, no, it says Nan. Love Nan. I didn't think it said mom, but of course my eyes are failing me. So that one says, love Nan for Leland. And then this one is a sweet, just little stripe kind of detailed heart. And on the back, it says Thomas Paxton. And then there's both a little love Nan and a year charm there. So sweet. So I'm going to hand those off. Oh, thank you. My trusty assistant is keeping me moving here today. All right, this customer, let's see who it is. Ellen. Ellen is a Susan Roberts super fan. I can tell here because there are several pieces here. And she also loves stars. So I'm going to start with the star parade for Ellen. So first of all, this has more of a coral color, which is really pretty. Not as red, it's more of a coral and sort of a lime green, which is a fun way to kind of reinvent your Christmas ornaments. So that one says Merry Christmas or Merry Xmas, I guess, and it's on a velvet. You can see that, so cute. And then there's a little Susan Roberts moment here for this guy. He is a little snowman. Love that. That 2-color cord, again, very sweet. Merry Christmas, Wesley. Do you have the hiccups?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is very sweet. The little Susan Roberts snowman. And then she's got another star with Santa flying through the air with his star. Love all the bright colors on there. And then we have a Santa with the little trees on the star shape. I like the shapes of ornaments because it gives you a little different like dimensionality on your tree, or if you're doing a garland. I also think that doing all stars on a garland would be really sweet. But yeah, so this one is another little with nub, I like to call those the crowns, like the little crowns on the tops of the ornaments. Very cute. Just this little, this is there's a Krynit color that has kind of there's also a fireworks, and I can't quite tell what this is, but it almost has like an iridescent tone to the silver, and you can kind of see, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. You can sort of see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but the iridescent kind of like changes colors, and it really makes those little lines stand out. Very cute. And then these are cute. So I don't know if many people know this, but in the Susan Roberts line, there's a whole series of these little squares. But they actually were originally invented designed so that these little pieces would flip back and you could put a little button or a jingle bell or something on them. But a lot of people just stitch them as the little square, and I think they're just as cute that way. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure type of an ornament, but love that for Ellen. Nice work. All right, good old St. Louis for Anne. Anne has been a customer for a long time, and I actually remember helping her kit a snowman stocking for one of her first grandchildren. So Anne is doing St. Louis. I don't know if this is for a family member or as a gift, but this is the silver needle St. Louis, and the basic kind of embroidery on the back, very pretty with the light blue velvet. So this is the silver needle version. The cool thing about needlepoint kind of growing in popularity is that a lot of people have taken travel rounds and kind of created their version of that. So we have also the, I don't know if you can, hold on, see this. We have the Nash and Daughters version, which has that really beautiful skyline that changes colors. This is looking at the city. So let's see, this is comes across from Illinois. So this would be the sunrise, right? No, yeah, it would be facing east. So this is the sunrise. So I've never been up early enough to go down to the arch and see the sunrise, but imagine it's beautiful. And then Lauren Block did this little hat with a little pom-pom on top, and that obviously is for the blues fans among us. Ooh, speaking of the blues, that's a little sneak peek. We're going to be maybe doing a little something with the blues I'm kind of excited about. So yeah, stay tuned on that. Herbert, I actually just talked to Herbert the other day on DMs. I, for the most part, answer all of the DMs for the Needlepoint Clubhouse. I get help now and again, but that's sort of one of my responsibilities that honestly I really like, because it's one way I can continue to kind of reach out and connect with our customers. But anyway, Herbert messaged, in fact, I think he messaged about the finishing forecasts and how to tune in. So Herbert, I hope you're watching because you now have a finish. But Herbert asked quite a while ago if we would get some NDLPT hats. And he shared with me that he in fact saw that we did get some NDLPT hats and he bought himself one. So If you're in the mood for an NDLPT little baseball cap, I think we still have some stock of those. This is really darling. I think that it is, I can't quite tell. I think it's a corduroy stitch, but it's horizontal instead of vertical, and it gives the those waves such a great like I don't know how to say it, like swirl almost on the actual swirls of the candies. So really sweet. We have 2026 charms, of course, and it looks like Herbert found the silver ones. I believe we have them in both silver or gold, so choose your own adventure on that. And then this little mini sock, so sweet. Also with the little silver charm. I'll have to ask Herbert. I don't know if he stitches for children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews, or if those are just for him. So Susan Roberts back up in my face here by my lovely assistant for Alex. Alex stitched the little Susan Roberts cube. I love this because it has the little North Pole. One thing that Susan, by the way, I've had the great pleasure of meeting and spending a lot of time with Susan. And one thing that I think she does, well, I think she does a lot of things really well. But one thing that I've talked to her about that I love is that she'll take one design that she's designed really well. And I would say that this Santa flying over the village is one of those designs. So this is in a cube. It is in a belt. It is now on a picture frame. And so there's a lot of different iterations of these really great designs. So you kind of, again, like if you're a person that doesn't wear belts, you could do a little cube and you can still enjoy this design in a lot of different ways. This is so pretty, the little sign on the back. I love the pole. It's kind of diagonal satin stitch there. Really nice. Nice job, Alex. Oh, hold on. I just noticed something. I also really like that cord. Do you see that 2-color cord with the metallic in it? That's stunning. I don't remember if I've really noticed a lot of that in the past, and that's a really, really good one. Okay, we are getting closer and closer to the end of our flat ornament parade, aren't we, Claire? Okay, I was home this morning and made, well, it was probably closer to about 10 by the time I made them, but I made pancakes myself at home. We are a no blueberry pancake household. We are a chocolate chip only pancake household, but I do love this. I believe this is from Morgan Julia. Let me double check on my math on that. I think so. Anyway, really, really sweet. All basket weave, which this looks like 13 count mesh. What a delight. And I've said this before, if a designer has taken a lot of time to create dimensionality with paint colors, basket weave is great. In fact, there are a few designers that Kate Woodward is one of them out of the Gingham Stitchery collection. I almost suggest that people do stitch all of that in basket weave because she's done such intricate detailing with the colors of the paint that it really kind of just screams for basket weave. So I think people dog on basket weave a lot. I think either you're a basket weave lover or you're a basket weave, I wouldn't say hater, but you'd prefer not to. Anyway, just a little side note. So Maddie, gosh, this design is very hot on this table. So this is, again, one of those tiny little sweet handwritings turned into canvas. It looks like it's on a little sheet of paper. This one has the year, which I love. It also has the rainbow fabric on the back, which I also love. You know, we're the home of the rainbow wall, so we love our rainbows here. And then I don't know if you can see that, if you can zoom in, but she's done a little heart bargello pattern on the top and the bottom, and then kind of stitched the actual paper a little differently, which is super, super cute. I love it. Well job. Nice job, Maddie. It is a polar bear. It's so cute. And oh, I love this. Okay, so this is for Corey. Hi, Corey. I just saw Corey displaying her belts that she finished on Instagram, and I believe they came through us. And Corey's a good friend. But anyway, Corey, hi there. And look at how stinking cute this is. I love that she did a different stitch in the sky than she did on the snow. I suggest that to people sometimes when they're trying to differentiate between the sky and the ground, because a lot of times in winter stitching or in like Santa stitching, you want to differentiate between like hair and say, for example, like the fluff on the band of the hat, because it's all white or it's like white and gray. And so it's a great idea to either change threads or change different movement stitches for that. And I think this turned out just really, really darling. But what I was oohing and eyeing over that I love is that I love the little tiny kind of open little tassel or turkey work. I can't see exactly how she accomplished that, but it kind of looks like just one row of turkey work that she left and cut the little strands off. So very sweet. And then of course there's some darling little embroidery on the back with the snowflake fabric. So really, really cute.
Gryffindor colors.
Oh, my Claire here is a Harry Potter girl, and so she noticed that this has Gryffindor colors. I don't know if Carol intended for that to be the case, but she's got a crest on there with what did I just see? A person's name? Yeah. So I don't know if this is, it must be some sort of a school or some sort of a crest appropriate for this individual. And I love that the back is all black velvet, super soft. And again, in this one, she did a stitch on the background and then did all of the focal point in basket weave, which again is a nice way to have things stand out. All right, Claire, first let's do the rest of these. Is this a flat? Let's do this. I want to do the rest of the flats, and this is also going to kind of lead us into the what am I trying to say? Oh, so what I mean by flat is a perfectly knife edge, and this one is open. So that means it's more of a 3D object. So Claire was trying to correct me, but you know what? Moms know best, right? Yep, be careful. Okay, set that down for a second, sweetheart. All right, so we have Lucy. Lucy, I looked at this and I was like, what's happening here? But I actually think this was pretty brilliant. So Lucy sent us just the bottom of the tray. The reason is it is important to send the self-finishing piece is because, as a reminder, from top to bottom, the majority of needlepoint, anything having to do with needlepoint is like a top to bottom hand process, right? So even these acrylic pieces are sometimes just a tiny bit off in the manufacturing process. But okay, first of all, so back to what I was saying. She only sent the bottom. We do prefer to have the piece so that we can ensure that it fits properly. Love this. I'm gonna talk about the stitches in a second, but look at how pretty this fabric is. I love that. Did she send that? Do we know? That's really, really pretty. It gives holiday without screaming holiday. You know what this also reminds me of? Amelia has a design out of the Gingham Stitchery that are these kind of dimensional stars. We'll have to try to see if we can find this to use on the back of that. That would be super, super fun. So, but what I love about this is, I don't know if I'm going to get this right. My director over here has to help me. But there's some patent leather here, which is great. You've got it looks like a diagonal cashmere in the background, which Lauren DeVue once told me that was her basket weave, and I didn't understand it. And now I've kind of gotten the hang of it, and I really think that's pretty meditative too, and it looks really nice as a background. There's some satin stitches. I love that the plate has long stitches and flare. Really, really sweet. But yeah, the stitching is exquisite, and I love how well the fabric is actually playing into that design. So the stars on the front and all. So that is, of course, a flat finish, no cording. You can, by the way, have us add a cord, and then you could change it out. So if you decided, at one point you wanted to have it in your tray, but then at another point you wanted to hang it somewhere in your house. So don't sleep on that. But again, you could also use a easel, some kind of like a freestanding easel that you would get at the craft store or something, to set those up if you wanted to do that. So lots of different ways to use needlepoint. Okay, let's see here. For Lucy, we also have this beautiful shell, all different sparkles, very pretty. Don't ask me to name types of shells because I am in landlocked Missouri and I grew up in Illinois, so shells are a fun treat for me when I go to the coast, but definitely am not schooled well in types of shells. But this one's really sweet, and I like the brown and the colors in that cording. A little bauble here, also for Lucy. Lucy has quite the haul. Sweet, with a velvet background. And then this, I believe, is out of the Kate Dickerson collection. It's the, she calls it the fishnet. It's, of course, Heron inspired, but I love the detailing on that. And I'm looking at the back. It's such a sweet fabric. It's like a linen fabric. Very pretty. And I think this is, yep, oh my goodness, it's all in velvet. How fun. That is a really fun technique if you can find the right colors. We are, of course, limited in velvet colors versus, like a silk or something else. But what a great way to really have some fun with a textured fiber. And pumpkins kind of have that smooth, satiny feel. So I kind of get it. And then, of course, some sparkle on the stem. Very sweet. It is going to be fall before we know it, isn't it, Claire? Okay, this one kind of had us all giggling. This is so cute. Oh my gosh, it's the same fabric on the back. Okay, so I'm gonna just let you choose your own adventure on what you think is happening here. I don't know if the dog has legs, little elf feet. I don't know if the dog is sticking its head through the wreath, sitting on the lap of the elf. I'm going to let you imagine what's going on here. I don't know if they're jump roping. I see like a little rope. I mean, this whole thing is so darn cute and made us all giggle because we were trying to come up with the storyline. Like, did the Westie like steal the ribbon? And so the ribbon's tangling up the elf. I don't know. I think we thought too much about this, but you have to really kind of make your own fun at work all the time, even if you do work in needlepoint, which is about 99% fun. So anyway, so yeah, and then that same fabric that I just love. The other thing that this finisher has chosen to do, and I don't know if the stitcher asked for it, but it's an all metallic cord, which is really pretty. I don't know if you can see that, but it's gold, silver, and white, and it looks really pretty. And that's not easy to sew on because metallics are obviously metallic, and so it's harder to get that needle through there. So well done, finishers. These guys, I don't know if we have any male finishers. We have a couple male finishers. I was gonna say these people, I shouldn't say men or women, but these people are really working hard for us and we love it. So this is also for Lucy, and this is gonna segue right into our 3D two-sided case section of our presentation today. So Lucy stitched the little mini Maddie Sweet scissor fob, or scissor case, and then I guess it could be a fob if you choose to hang it. I thought I dropped it, but I had it by the hair of its little chinny chin chin on the loop. Again, people like these long because the idea of this is to loop this through the handle of your scissor, so that then you would have pretend my hand's the scissor. Your scissor would be hanging here, and then the point would go in. And so it's kind of a nice way to keep it all together and keep the tip, the sharp tip kind of protected with a little case. So this is one thing I have not stitched for myself, is a scissor case. I should, because they're darling, but I just haven't gotten there. But this is really sweet, two-sided. And as another reminder, I'm not sure if we'll have any here, but you can stitch just one side and have the other side finished with fabric. That's an option. So then in this particular case, you would have been able to have two scissor cases. That is not a scissor case, but I'm gonna let you take a minute to guess what kind of a case you think that is. And once I'm done talking about this one, let's see if you can come up with it for me. Okay, so another scissor case for Linda. I wonder if I'm gonna see Linda anytime soon. It's been a while. Linda and I were together at a retreat in Michigan and just had such a blast and really connected. Anyway, and I'm just wondering if I'm going to see you at any upcoming retreats, Linda. You'll have to let me know. Okay, two-sided scissor case. I'm going to have to check on the designer on this one, but I do love the Greek key sort of esque bordering across the top. Beautiful. Again, this is all stitched in basket weave. A wearable like this, I love, in a very durable silk wool blend. There is some sparkle, so I don't know if that is silk lame or what exactly that is, but it looks really great. And again, she's got that long cord so that she can flip it through her scissors. If you are in the mood to stitch yourself a scissor case, which I evidently should be doing because I don't have one, we've got this Ziggy Stitches canvas. I don't know if you can, is the light going straight through there? Or could I do this maybe for you? Does that help? And so this is a Ziggy Stitches. This is, again, two-sided. These would go together, but then this piece is straight because this shows up kind of behind it. And as a reminder, we have embroidered the inside, and then the embroidery kind of shows right above that little side of the scissor case. So love that. That's kind of gives me a little bit of that kind of geometric, really, really pretty. So there's that one. And then we also have, oops, maybe I'll use that paper for a second again. Thank you. This Whimsy and Grace piece. Oh, Tony from Whimsy and Grace. I need to call her. I haven't talked to her in quite a while. She's a dear. She's a fun person. one of those OG industry people that I love to chat with. And she's a firecracker. If you're here on YouTube, if you're new here, then you wouldn't know this. But if you've been following me for a while, you know that I did the Pointing It Out podcast with my friend Melissa from The Wool and the Floss. And all of those episodes are still loaded onto YouTube. And I did an interview with Toni from Whimsy and Grace. I bet you it's been maybe 5 or more years ago now. And she suffered a fire. But it was the most touching interview I think I ever did. She was such a delight to talk to. And she was inspirational because she had gone through such crappy things. And she just had a giggle and a great attitude. And anyway, you would kind of get insight into Toni and Whimsy and Grace. So if you are sick of hearing me talk, then don't go do that because I'm talking again. But once you're through with this, maybe hop on over to that Pointing It Out podcast because there's a lot of really cool information there that isn't out of date. A lot of things you can still learn. No, nice try. Hold on. Claire just guessed a thread case or a scissor case. What do you think it is? Glasses case, of course.
The glasses are bigger.
Well, then you'd have an issue. But what I do love is that, and I'm glad I had my glasses here to show. So people always ask about these glasses cases and whether or not, what if your glasses are too big? What if they're too small? These are pretty good sized readers and those just slide right in there. And why this works, there's a little bit of friction in there. And that's because they use interfacing, like a heavy interfacing to make it a little thicker. And then it holds a little stronger, I think, is kind of how that works. So Jen did this darling, I believe this is Ann Fisher. Oh, I'm pretty sure this is Ann Fisher. Because she does these little dog tails with they look like they're laying down on a carpet. So very cute. He's got a little bit of fuzziness going on. I don't know if you can see that on the back of his legs there and his tail. Very cute. I can't even quite tell what that stitch was. I don't know if it was long and short. But then we've got the pink soft velvety backing, and then the I think it's a hot pink. Oh, it's got little I don't know. Can you see in there? Kind of hard to see in there. If you zoom in, you might be able to get a little shot of it. It's kind of a raspberry with a little white. Oh, that's not true. A little light pink kind of fabricing. So something tells me that Mary chose that, and it was kind of the perfect coloration. So good job, Mary. Oh yeah, good job. Okay, so this guy wasn't with our flats because he's got a little bit of fluff inside of him. So this is for Katie. I don't know if Katie asked for this. There's a lot of information here. But anyhow, I think it looks like she submitted a photo. That, as a PSA, is also not a bad thing to do. If there's something in particular that you have in your brain that you want to express to the finisher, shoot us a photo either by email to stlneedlepoint@gmail.com and just put fit attention finishing. You can also print out just a photo from your copy machine. It doesn't have to be a fancy photo, but it gives us the chance to then explain to our finisher exactly what you have in your mind so that there are no surprises. So anyhow, you're welcome to send those photos in anytime. Okay, stop it. This is the Chef Stitch It. How cute is that? And can you see the little wooden spoon? I sourced, no, that's not fair. Maybe I did. Or maybe I asked for some help with this, but we were able to, here at the Needlepoint Clubhouse, source these little wooden spoons that are from a dollhouse kind of vendor that I used when I stitched the Ann Fisher Mrs. Claus sled. If you're familiar with that, it has her little apron hanging on the side of the sled, and I put the spoon in the pocket. I don't know where this person got this spoon. This is Katie. I don't know if she got it here, but that little spoon in his hand is so darn cute. I also love that he has a plaid bow on the back to go with his little chefing uniform there. I had my finger right on his hat. There's some really cute little diagonal cashmere on his hat there that gives it that kind of like wavy, the floofy chef hat look. So very good. Another little PSA. So by the way, so this one's a little, I don't know if you can get a good image of that, but it's poofy. It's kind of like a little pillow, stuffed pillow. So that is an option for the Stitch It's Angels, but also bow or no bow is also an option. So the original intention of these Stitch It Angels were so that they looked like little angels with their angel wings, and these bows looked like sweet little wings coming off of their back. But since then, the iteration of these little angels has gone sort of so far down the road. There's chefs, there's witches, there's Draculas, there's you name it. And not all of those necessarily are screaming for bows, but they can be. If you want a bow on the back, we can. We could also put a bow instead on top. But those are all things that are really Stitcher's choice. And when you send them to us, we are happy to indulge your wishes. So, okay, this is definitely 3D. And Claire, aren't these cool? OMG, these are so great. Well, I could put this in my hair, like a little, what is it? Like if I had a little fascinator, I could have this little in my hair. That
You should get one of those for what's it called? Costa Rica.
Oh, yes, we're going to Costa Rica for spring break. I don't know if fascinators are what we need for spring
Like
break.
a bird.
A bird is a great idea. I was thinking more like Kentucky Derby, having a little fascinator, or a tea party. In England, they wear a lot of little hats and things. But anyway, we digress. This is just styling by Megan and Claire, that's all. So these are for April. These are awesome, and I must stitch one of these. So these 3D birds were the brainchild and vision of the Mark and JP at Labors of Love. They are, JP's the designer. Mark is the, I think he would probably be called like the general manager of the store. They are a delightful team. And I've talked about this before on camera. Are you seeing these okay? I had the delightful opportunity to sit with Mark and JP when we went to Needlepoint Palooza. And again, I've said this before, and so if you're hearing my same story over again, so sorry about that. But if you're hearing it for the first time, I'm happy to report that 98% of the birds in this collection, and there are a lot now. There's at least 100 of these designs, I would say, and maybe not quite that many, but a lot. Almost all of them are based on original birds, so warblers and birds from all over the world. He uses I don't know what kind of a book or what, but he made sure that they are like the right coloration and that they have the right wing like dimensionality. There are a couple birds that are not real. One of them is the lovebird, and it's just really sweet, and it's pink and it has hearts on it. But anyway, we had a lot of these in stock. But to Claire's point, this is not necessarily a hair clip. What these were really intended for was to clip onto a bird cage. And we have a couple customers who have a little like bird cage in their house, and then they have these birds clipped to them. But they're also very cool in a wreath. They're really cool on a tree, like if you on your Christmas tree, or even like, you know how we have lots of plants in our house? I could stick it in a plant.
On the bird feeder.
Oh yeah.
Get like a string and hang them on there so the birds can see.
To think that they have friends. I don't think I want the real birds on my needlepoint birds, but we could pretend that they're friends. Okay. Anyway, enough about these birds, but I love these. They all have like the simple gold cording and absolutely beautiful. April, well done. I'm going to stop playing with the birds and hand them off to Mary over here for packaging and shipping. Okay, I'm excited. Oh, cute. Okay, this is for Lucy. I will be seeing Lucy in a couple of weeks, and it's a retreat that I've gone to a couple of years, and we've had the great opportunity to hang together. So Lucy did this sweet little, can you see this? It's like a little leopard print bunny. Again, all in velvet, which is absolutely darling. She is two-sided. I am not familiar with this. It says unknown designer. There are a lot of these birds, birds. I got birds on the brain now. There are a lot of these bunnies in the world, two-sided bunnies in the world, but I've never seen this little leopard print, and I love it. I also love that we've chosen to do just a simple cording so it doesn't take away from the design. And then this is what Claire was talking about. How sweet is that? The little bottom is monogrammed. So cute. And the fluffy mink tail. Did our finisher attach that, Mary, in the finishing process? So we actually sell these mink pom-pom tails, which you can get on our website. But we oftentimes go squirrel away some, what am I trying to say? Squirrel away some like little bits and bobs from the floor for the finishing process. So beautiful, Lucy. Well done. I love it. I'm going to hand this guy out. I'm going to take a quick sip if you all don't mind. Okay, back. The back one is, this one is cool. Okay. This is for Julie. Julie did this sweet little, oh, this is fun. This is to emulate, be very careful. Okay. This is to emulate the vintage ceramic trees that had the little bulbs on them. Is this stitching with Stacy? Yes, I did it. I was doubting myself, but I just needed to stick with it. So this is a cute little, it really kind of just looks like an ornament on the canvas, and it certainly can be stitched as an ornament, but this is a darling little knife edge stand up. I love the different colored greens. Looks so nice with the velvet backing. Very, very cute. The JMK. Is that the stitcher? It is. Julie, well done. And the front. And then the what Claire was saying, I think, was that the back was cute with the embroidery. And I love that they did the gold embroidery to kind of tie into the gold star on top. So well done, Julie. What have we got here? Okay, well, we were talking about Stitch Rock earlier. This is awesome. This is for Jackie. Jackie, okay, I'm going to try to zoom in on this and explain it while I let you see it. So I think what she has done here is create her own little garland out of beads. So you can see the bugle beads and the little seed beads that I imagine that maybe she strung and then tacked on. I'm going to take a better look at that myself. I probably need my glasses to really, I'm really going to examine this because I think it's very cool what she's done. Yes, I think she strung this and then tacked them between beads. I really love this, and I'm not sure, I've seen this before, and it's really a relatively simple concept that I've just never put two and two in my brain. So this canvas has the, I wish I had it side by side because she's done a great job of embellishing this. This actually has the garland going across it like this, and then it also has little dotted ornaments in the canvas, but I think she has both embellished the dots and then maybe added an embellishment with these other beads or these other gemstones that have the beads kind of circling around. And it's just fantastic. I love the colors. She has beaded the star and the trunk. And this has been finished all in Silk Dupioni, which I love. And this color is spot on with the tree. It's so good. And then there's the stitch. I can't remember the name of that, but it kind of is like a dripping kind of look in the background there, which I love. And then of course, our finishers are, well, it is common standard operating procedure here to put some kind of a lame behind any open stitching when it's showing. So if for some reason you're not interested in that, or if you have a finishing idea where you say, oh, I'd really wanted to have hot pink behind there so that it kind of looks a little different, you have to let us know. But we definitely will always put a lame behind open stitching. So this tone on tone monogram is stunning. And these little gold feet, I absolutely love it. Laura is also a delight. Jackie, this is beautiful. Laura's going to be very proud of you for the stitching of that sweet tree. So really, really cute. Oh, who do we have here? I believe we have Marion Joseph. This is awesome. I don't recognize this designer either. This is for Janice. Oh, this is Mile High Princess. Okay. I haven't seen Mile High Princess in a while. I should need to make a note of that. So Mile High Princess has a lot of these kind of standing figures. They've got snowmen, Santas, jack-o'-lanterns, I think, or scarecrows, like a lot of these figures that go straight up and down like this. And you can kind of tell, now that I know that it's Mile High Princess, I can tell that because of the art. This is really, really darling. And this is a great example on Mary here of choosing stitches that go in different directions so that you can see the way that the robing moves. So you can see her arms and the front of her robe have stitches moving different directions. So that well done on the stitching, because I believe, yes, it's all the same thread. It's just that they've moved it in different ways. And so that you can kind of see the three-dimensional nature of the actual robe. So that's Mary. And here's Joseph. His beard is so cute. Look at that. I love it. Flat bottom. And then these two will live happily ever after on their mantle place or on a table or wherever they're being displayed with this pretty white moire. Really, really cute. I guess my question is, where's the baby? So maybe they were having a night out on the town, but together without the child. I don't know. It's kind of nice to be childless every once in a while, you know.
Let's start doing the belts.
Next, we'll do the belts. That sounds like a great plan. All right. So first, though, we're going to show Jennifer's awesome clutch. Now, I'm going to take a look inside of this because I am taking a gander, I'm taking a gander inside, and then I'm going to take a guess on how this was finished. This is a darling little clutch. Lucite tortoise opens up like this, and it has the chain inside that she would be able to use as a like a crossbody or a long strap for the bag. But what I was looking inside at is there is a lining. And so do you have any idea, was this front open, Mary? Don't know. What I'm trying to determine, so one of two things. Here's what I'll say. If this were flat, just like this on the other side, this would have to somehow be adhered so that it would be glued, in other words, because there would be no other way to attach this piece. If this were open, which it could be, I don't know, they might be able to get it attached without adhesive, but they've then created a lining because you can't see it. So I'm very curious about this. Yeah. Oh, mounted on top. Okay. So it has to be mounted on top. That's exactly what they did, is they basically adhered this to the top and then created the cording, probably also adhered to the top. So they've done a nice job with the adhesive because I don't see any sign of it. But there's really just no other way to add this to the front of something smooth like this unless there's a glue. And I know glue, adhesive are like dirty words in finishing, but as long as it's acid free, it's just like any other archival quality material. It's not going to damage the needlepoint. But I also want to point out the beading on this. So I don't know if you can see that, but the sequins are attached with beads, and he looks like a little dancing snake. So this is out of the Plum Stitchery collection, and it's art by Willa Hart, who, if you don't follow her on Instagram, is a hoot and a holler. She's very clever and really funny, and her art is awesome in needlepoint. I'm so happy that we can represent her art in needlepoint because it's awesome art, and it's fun to stitch. So away you go, Mary. You know, the other thing I'll say about that canvas is I don't think we have one, but there's actually a wavy outline on that canvas, and what that stitcher did was draw the rectangular shape around and just stitch over top of what was painted, including the white part of the canvas that was not painted. So it looks great. So that's just a little PSA. You can change the shape of things too. You would have to do a full coverage stitch, of course, and or have some painting done to address the white canvas, but it worked out great. So, all right, this is for Esther. Oh, Esther was just here not too long ago for a class. Really great purse strap. I'm trying to think. This looks like a Mopsy design. Sure is. I think she may have adjusted the colors a little bit, but this is a purse strap. I don't know. Can you see that? So as a reminder on purse straps, there are multiple ways to finish the ends, and I can show you that in just a second. But there's a lot of choices with purse straps. But the most important piece is how long you want it. So Esther probably took a measurement and gave us that. So this one is probably long enough for a pretty short crossbody, but really I have a feeling she's intending for this to be a shoulder bag. The other choices, so once you decide how long you want it, and let us know that, we really need to know from like the tip of the hardware all the way to the other tip of the hardware, how long, am I right about that? How long the purse needs to be, because the finishing, let me say this again. The finished length will depend a little bit on the length of both the hardware, the style of finish, and the amount of stitching that you provide to us. So, for example, if somebody said they wanted this to be 27 inches long, we would take the stitching and the finisher would determine how much leather needed to be here. I'm sorry, you probably can't see what I'm doing, can you? The finisher would determine how much leather to leave here and then how much to accommodate the hardware. So this finish is with the leather showing on either side of the tab. Can you see that? And so there's a tab bottom, and silver lobster clasp hardware. And the other, I think, difficult decision is the colors. So since we're back in the finishing area, I wonder if Mary couldn't grab for me the color options, because we're going to talk about some more leather here. The leather options are awesome. So I don't know how many there are. I'm going to let you take a guess of how many different colors there are, but there are so many colors on this ring to choose from. And I believe she updates us with the inventory that she has. So if for some reason she's out of something, we would of course pull it and it wouldn't be an option. But it's amazing, the colors. I don't even know if gold and silver are on here. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, the gold is one of my favorites. But this is just awesome because, like I said, look at this, how it matches just so perfectly. The only other thing that trips my brain up is I tend to kind of be that girl from, the early 90s where everything matched. And I try to talk myself into like alternating a color. Like, wouldn't this have been fun with, say, by the way, no finish shaming, Esther, this is absolutely beautiful. But can you imagine if you had added like a lime green or, I don't know, turquoise. So just don't sleep on that. I think, and we're happy to walk you through things. When we receive your finishing, we always reach out, make sure we have everything accurate, and then kind of go through some of the options and make sure that we're doing exactly what you want it to be. So Esther, beautiful work. I love that you changed that color up a little bit. Oh boy, here is the silver and gold combo that I love so much. Okay, so whose design is this? Is this Blueberry Point? Huh, BPC. I didn't recognize this as a Blueberry Point design, but I guess it is. It's giving either Evil Eye, which is a thing, or sort of a Western kind of Killam look. I don't know what the intention is for this, but what I do know is that the colors are awesome. She even did turn rose in silver. Can you see that? Love it. The silver leather is, I think, what I've chosen for my key fob. I think I did silver leather and gold hardware just like this. And this is so fun. So this one, as you can tell, is a little bit longer by the choice of the stitcher, because I can actually get more of a, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, sorry, babe. More of a crossbody effect here with this particular bag. So really cute. And again, these are all custom. So this was, as you probably can tell, this one was much narrower than the last one that we showed, but these are all hand sewn and cut. And so the width is really dealer's choice, finisher's choice, up to you. But love, love, love that. That's from our friend Melinda. I forgot to say that. I'll be seeing Melinda in not too long too. So, oh, Deborah, this is gorgeous. Okay, I believe that this is a Colors of Praise canvas. This is a stunning canvas. She did this also in velvet. The people doing the velvet stitching are doing the Lord's work with the textures today. I love it. So this is a knife edge bag with gold leather. I try as much as possible. I hope that you don't get annoyed with me repeating myself, but I'd like to just say what the actual finishes are called, so that then it's a little easier for you when you turn something in for finishing with us, that you know what words to use. So, okay, I've got to go back to this stitching. Can you see this? Can you see that snow leopard, tiger, whatever he is? Do you see his eyes? This is something that I love to do anytime I'm stitching an animal, is to put sparkle in the eyes. And you'll notice that there's very little sparkle on the whole rest of this, but it really makes the eyes kind of look more alive. And even though people always say, well, there's only like 5 stitches, do I need another card of, whatever thread? No, you of course do not. But I really think it makes a difference. And this is a really great example of that. So again, this is a knife edge clutch with the seaming down the center. Again, if that's something that you don't like, I like it because I think it looks like, has like more of a finished look, but a lot of people don't like it, and that's okay. So she does this just as just sort of a detail. There's a ankle, not gonna hold this out as an ankle chain. This is a wrist strap and has a handmade tassel, which is also beautiful on the zipper. Let's see what the interior is. Oh, stop. Okay, knockout. I love that. So good. I want to show you this way because it just looks so awesome when you look at this and then you see that. So I hope you can see inside there. So that zebra stripe, or that, well, I have a feeling this is zebra fabric, but we won't tell the snow leopard that. So it just looks awesome. Okay, Deborah, well done. Beautiful choices, beautiful stitching. Oh, all right. Oh, is this for Krista? Does she get two? Krista, I hope you're doing well. I think this is my friend Krista who sings with the Mormon Tabernacle choir out in Utah. Girl, these are stunning. I hope that's her. There's no address on these, but I'm pretty sure that that's her last name. But anyway, Krista, holy moly, look at these. Okay, first of all, I would have trouble choosing which one I was going to carry first because these are both absolutely stunning. They are both Colors of Praise canvases. And I'm wondering if these were on the same canvas. Do they do front and back canvases for Colors of Praise, or is it all one? I can't quite picture that. But either way, this is like what we like to call a pillow pair. It's like a clutch pair. These look awesome together. So I'm going to start with this one. Oh, look at this leather. I absolutely love it. So this is a knife edge clutch with that sewn detail across the back in this yellow, which they call yellow. Actually, yeah, there's two yellows here. So it's this bright yellow on my, I'm sorry if I'm in camera or not. And the multicolor handmade tassel. Stop. Did she pick the colors for the tassel too? How fun. So what this customer was able to do was to go to this and say, I'd like these different 3 colors of handmade tassel. So holy cow, exquisite. I love it. And then let's see what's inside. I'm going to see the secret first. It's so oh, okay. So do you see that blue matches that butterfly perfectly on the front? And then she's done a leather tipped pocket. Can you see that? I hate to pull this open too much, but this little leather tipped pocket on the inside is awesome. This is a beautiful color of silk dupioni that matches that butterfly so beautifully. Krista, let's go out on a date together so that I can borrow one of the bags and you can carry the other one. How about? Okay, now we're going to look at the tiger before I show you the surprise inside. This one, of course, has the gold knife edge on the back with sewn detailing. And I'm going to say both of these were using the same zipper color, and I really like it. Do you see? It's kind of just like a neutral that blends. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Thank you, camera person. The kind of that taupe zipper is a really great choice. I think what the finisher has done is sort of chosen that real neutral color in the pieces and chosen the zipper for that, so it just kind of blends in. But back to the tiger here, he is awesome. Those flowers are awesome. The gold is so good, and check out this tassel. It's like a surprise when you move because there's 3 colors in there. They're all like layered in. I think that's how she has to wrap the tasseling. Oh, sorry, tasseling together. I get like too into my own excitement that I forget what I'm doing here. So luckily, I have a trusty assistant over here to help me remember. This one is also stunning. Look at this. So it's a moire or a file, but the leather is also tipped on the pocket, but it's like a tone on tone, but it's like metallic and flat. I don't know. What a cool idea. Did you choose these, Mary, or did the finisher? Or I mean it's really well done. I love these. Krista, away you go with your 2 absolutely gorgeous clutches. Do you mind, Claire, if we're going to save that. We're going to do the rest of these clutches and purses first. I like to be in a category. Do you see that one right there? I'd love to show that one next. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. Well, actually, I see what you were doing here, honey. I'm getting ahead of myself. You were doing a good job. So the final of the leather finishes are here. So this is awesome. This is a gusseted, not knife edge, handbag. Of course, it's one-sided. You see you can do 2 sides is what I'm trying to say. 2 sides of this could be stitched, but this is just a one-sided gusseted bag with bamboo handles and a magnetic closure and a pocket. And check this out. Can you see that? Her initials are on there. Oh, love it, love it, love it. This is all tone on tone, which makes it very classic. The navy moire, the navy tipped like pocket lining, Really, really well done. Love it. The gusset, awesome, awesome, awesome. So pretty. This is for Hope. Well done, Hope. I love it. Whoop, got that? Okay, this is awesome too. This is for Amy. Stop. This is our friend Amy Poor of A Poor Girl Paints. She sent us finishing. I'm so excited. Thank you, Amy. This is a design by SCT, which is out of the Casey Needlepoint Designers Group. Look at these clear handles. Is that adorable? It's got silver findings, metallic findings. And what Amy has done, hold on, I'm going to get in on this here if you can see that. Amy charts these monograms. I think the Wool and the Floss still sells them, and it's through Taylor Design Studio, I think. But reach out to the Wool and the Floss if you would like to have a custom monogram made. I'm pretty sure she's still doing that. I have one on a leggage tag that I had finished, and but yeah, I love this. I think she charts it for you. Do some research on that, but I just absolutely love how she's tucked that in to the side of her handbag. The black leather is stunning. The silver between, oh, it's so good. Now this is a little different. So this is too a gusseted handbag with the bamboo but clear handles. We can do some sourcing of these, but if you have something really in mind, we do our best to try to find these. In fact, I did a little vintage hunting, if you saw on Instagram this past weekend, and I was kind of looking for purse handles because I like to be able to offer these to our customers, but they're just so inconsistent with the ability for us to source them that really the best thing to do is if you find one, send them to us and we will, of course, use them in your finishing. So this is a little different because it has a, hold on a second, magnetic closure, but it's got, is this a flap? What do you call this piece? A snap flap. So what that does is it gives it the ability to stay a little bit wider on the top so that you can get more stuff in it. If you remember, the one I just showed you didn't have the flap. It just snapped together. So of course that's going to get a little smaller at top, but it's still going to have that same gusset on the bottom. And then this has a gray moire lining with, oh, this has a secret zipper pocket. Check this out. So the zipper here opens up and has a little tab on it, which is awesome. So again, there are a lot of different types of choices that you can make on these bags. We just need to know them. And this finisher charges based on the amount of time it takes her to do the finishing. So every little detail is going to cause it to be a little more expensive because it just simply takes time. It's all hand done. So love that, Amy. Really, really good. And then, of course, one more. This also has the snap flap. This is for Ashley. I have a feeling she also provided these handles to us because I can tell these are what is called natural bamboo. The ones that we showed on that first bag were actually the acrylic or the lucite, probably acrylic, more of like a plastic feel. This is the natural. But whoops, sorry. This looks so good. This is giving Colony, let's see, who is the designer? So this is also KCD, the Pink Monkeys canvas. Really cute. Pink monkeys. The monkeys are sparkly. The stripes in the background are stunning. I don't know if this canvas actually has a background. I think this stitcher may have added that yellow and white background. But then, ooh, this has some other fun details in it. So snap flap, which we open, and then there is a secret little hidden strap, longer strap. So in this, you can do a couple of things. I don't know, can you see me okay if I'm doing this? You can actually flip these in and not use them. Now, of course, that's going to take up some of the real estate in your handbag, but it does give you the option of doing this so that they're not kind of bugging you. You can take this on or off, and then you can, technically, I will tell you, you can take these on or off also, these bamboo handles. There's really just a screw that is in here that you can open and pull these off. I just wouldn't do it a lot because, I don't know, I'm afraid that you might strip the metal finding a little bit. But anyway, there's a lot of options here. What I haven't shown you yet, though, is how cute the inside is. It's green. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? Love it. Really, really good. Well done. So that is for Ashley. And yeah, love that. It looks great. Okay, so that's the end of our leather parade for today, but we do have at least one more finish that is a handbag for Chrissy, but Chrissy did not choose leather. She chose a soft backing, and in this case, it's velvet, which we love. So soft. She also chose to have D-rings, tabs put on the sides, if you can see that okay. And I imagine we sourced this chain. We can source the chain. It's of course an extra fee, but I don't know if we can do them in different lengths or not. I think it's kind of a standard. There's a little bit of flexibility I'm hearing with the length of the chains, but this one fits just great with me, and I think it looks awesome with my denim. So if let's see, whose was this again? If Chrissy is interested, I'd be happy to model this for you for a few weeks or forever. This is really pretty. Let's see, this designer, I don't recognize this. Oh, it's Jenny Sandberg, of course. Jenny Sandberg does a lot of handbags. Back up here so my cameraman can see what I'm doing here. But love this. It's done all in basket weave, really beautiful. And look at how cute this is. I love the brown. So good. This one actually has a pocket also, but when it's done not in leather, it's all in fabric. So there is no ability to do like a tipped top with the leather. So this is just a little extra interior pocket. Really cute. I love the brown zipper. That's really part of the detailing too. Again, if you have a very specific idea of what you want for all of these colors, you'll have to let us know. Otherwise, we do our best to match them with a good quality zipper. So, so there is that one. All right, Claire, what do we have next? A brick. Ugh, this heavy lifting here today, huh? So this is Dorothy, for our friend Dorothy. I don't recognize this designer. Oh, I do know who this is. This is Zeka. Karen of Zeka is an awesome lady, very into geometrics, very into awesome colors. This is a real jewel tone, but I love this bright, beautiful. Can you see that bright, beautiful? I think that's the straw silk. No, it's sure not, because it has glitter in it. I don't exactly know what that is. I think it must be an overdye with a metallic in it. Maybe it's the Threadworks. I don't know. That's a really pretty color. Sorry, it just stands out to me. You know me and I love this sort of celadon green color. But this person, the stitcher, who did I say? Sorry, Dorothy, chose to have cording around the bottom. That's an option. You can do it or not. Of course, this brick is finished on all the sides. There is no cording down the seams. Sometimes people choose to do that. This person just chose cording around the bottom. And then it's finished usually with a pretty durable fabric. In this case, this is some ultra suede that'll last a long time. So well done. I keep saying I need to find a brick to stitch. I have not decided which one I'm going to stitch, but our bedroom door swings open and I really need to do something about that. So, oh, this is absolutely adorable. Okay. This is for Jackie. Jackie did this canvas. It says here in my paperwork that it's Poppy Monk. It must be Poppy Monk because I thought it looked like Jean Smith, but it's on 18 count mesh. I can just tell by looking at it. And Jean Smith, of course, is all on 13 count mesh. But the colors are really pretty. And she did different stitches. By the way, this is a paperweight, so it's saggy. So I'm not going to have a great opportunity to show you exactly up close. But each of these stitches, each of the flowers has a different stitch on it. Very, very cute. And then there's a pink linen backing on that. As a reminder, we will do these paperweights, but we can't really do very good shapes. Shapes just don't work well in a paperweight because of the sort of practicality of it with the movable pieces and parts on the inside. But we love a square or a rectangle paperweight. So I was thinking you could do either of these as a paperweight would be really pretty. Either the Jean Smith or the MHB. But yeah, I would probably draw a square, like this one has a square. This is kind of intended to be a coaster, but it would make a great paperweight. And then I'd probably draw a square around this one as well. So unless you wanted to make it a rectangle and you could put initials on either side and make it a rectangular shape, that would be a fun way to handle that one too. So, okay, that was our one and only little, oh my goodness, we still have more. That was our one and only little paperweight. Quick hydration break. Okay, now we have a stocking parade. We are in love with our stocking finisher because she is so good, and she's going to finish stockings up through October 1st. So if you are thinking to yourself, there's absolutely no way I can have my stocking on my Christmas tree this year, never fear. If you want a knife edge, self-welt stocking or a cuff, we can get that done for you if we receive it by October 1st. So I hate to say that too loud for the people in the back because I don't want a deluge for our finisher, but October 1st is our deadline. We have, as a reminder, no guarantees, but our finisher has just given us the notification that she thinks she can finish by mid-December, mid to late December, if you get it to us by October 1st. So we will not get it back to you for your Christmas decorating the day after Thanksgiving, but we will get it to you in time for Christmas if we get it by October 1st. So I hope that's clear. Like I said, we have gone to a system where we don't have any guarantees, so we do not guarantee anything as far as dates. We just believe that they need to be professionally finished and done with care, and so we just don't rush anything. It's a human resource, and so we've gone to this method of not guaranteeing anything, but I am now saying, which I hate to do, that we can probably most likely with pretty good certainty, unless something horrible happens to our finisher, by Christmas this year. So not to beat a dead horse, but that's where we're at. So we love our finisher. She is awesome. This canvas is darling. I am trying to decide what is on this. Okay, so first of all, it says SC for Santa Claus, right? And I think that says NP with a golf club for North Pole. Is that what's happening there? It might be backwards if we're, yeah, very cute. I love it. So this is for Austin. So the stitcher is Christine. Christine chose the classic red with the red welting and the green and white diagonal stripe. We have, as a reminder, a lot of options for linings. We have a pretty good selection of options for velvet, but we do our best to match or to honor your requests. But if it's, if it's like a turquoise matching the background and we can't find that exact one, we'll have to let you know about that. So, but we have some vendors that do a really good job for us. We use all cotton backed velvets. We can't use a stretchy velvet. So you are welcome. Like one of these customers on the table did send us some velvet, but it can't be like dressing velvet. It has to be a cotton backed velvet because if it's stretchy, it just won't simply work for the finisher. So Jenna stitched this one for Jenna. Well done, Jenna. She did one for herself. I absolutely love it. This is a beautiful stocking by, I'm just going to try to guess, but I think it was custom because I see all these little people on the stocking. So sweet. I imagine that that's a special shout out for her family. But how cute is this? I love that, like that pink background for the wallpaper here. And then check this out. Pink striped lining. Love it. So stockings are almost always finished with velvet. We've done them with other things. They can be done with corduroy. They can be done with upholstery weight fabric, but we almost always suggest velvet just because it's a nice weight and it's has kind of a seasonal feel to it, kind of a wintry feel. But as a reminder, the lining can be just about anything. We don't want it to be heavy, but it can be quilting cotton. It can be moire. It can be any lightweight fabric, batiste, ticking. But we kind of have a standard around here of red and white stripe, green and white stripe, gingham, but we can accommodate most requests. So this is for Townsend. What a cool name. This is also, is this the same stitcher, Jenna? Nice. So Townsend has a stocking. Love it. I don't know if you can see that very well. Very good. Love this girl in this kind of coral coat. Isn't that a pretty color? It's great. Well done, Jenna. Get this to you, Mary. And then this is for Lauren. Oh my gosh, this is our Emma's sister. Emily. Lauren, nice job for yourself. This is a Susan Roberts stocking with a pink background that looks absolutely great. Lauren chose the classic red with the red welting. And look at the stripes on the inside. Isn't that cute? It goes with all the colors in her stocking. That pink background is absolutely darling. She's done some long and short stitches. You can see that. She did the diagonal mosaic background, which looks great. Lots of different types of stitches and colors, and that striped fabric is just awesome. She also used the red silk lame that has a little bit of extra sparkle to it, which is really great. It kind of gives all the, kind of pulls in all the colors on the stocking. So well done, Lauren. All right, I don't know if I recognize this designer. Let's see here. This is for Shannon. This is done a little bit differently, not a ton differently, but this one does not have welting. Oh, I see. Okay, so this customer turned in, well, I'm not going to take this out of the plastic, but what she did was sent a stocking that she wanted us to match, which is also a great idea, so that then they're the same shape. They've got the same, loop coming out of the exact same spot, and we understand the mission. Anyway, so no welt. It's just a clean edge like that. The velvet is really pretty on this one, the green velvet. And Claire, hiccups, try making me giggle. And the lining on this one is a really pretty floral. So again, we can pretty much line stockings with whatever you choose. But this guy is really cool. This is Santa kicking back after a long night. All right, so that's for Sharon. All right, this one's cool. This one says Dad. I don't know if I recognize self-designed. What a great idea. So my guess is that this customer used another stocking and traced the outline on a piece of canvas and then just did this geometric patterning to it. It looks really great. And that's a really affordable way to do a stocking if you know you're trying to stay on a budget. But I love this. The geometrics are pretty. The colors are great. It just says Dad, of course. And love the ticking. Really pretty. Really well done. And this is the customer that I said sent the fabric, the lining as well. That's not necessary, but definitely a good idea if you have a very specific idea of colors and the way you want this to be done. Is this paper? I'm sorry. Okay. This is, these are one of these kits. So this is for Allison. So Allison sent us this. I think this is called a Dimensions kit. I think that's, it says Artist Unknown, but I'm pretty sure I recognize this design out of the kits that you can get. So really cute snowman. Really nice job. And this one's with the navy, which is just a perfect match. Another thing that she's done that I'm going to point out that I think some people forget that they can do. So do you see that this is top stitched right here? Can you see that carrot? There's little black lines. And what they've done with that is taken one strand of something, so maybe a piece of silk, maybe a piece of cotton floss, and have done sort of a long stitch outline, which gives a nice, it was probably in the instructions of this particular kit, but don't forget that you can do that if there's something that you really want to do in your needlepoint canvas to kind of outline. It's also happening here on the hat, you can see. So she's just taken a long horizontal stitch going straight through, like in the channel there between the two stitches. So nice job, Allison. Thank you, Claire. Okay, Sergio is going to have a nice treat this year from Anne. Love this. I'm trying to see if I recognize this designer. I don't know if I do, but I do love this village scene. Really pretty. It says unknown. Yeah, I don't recognize this, but I do love that Sergio is kind of tucked in over here, and you can see that. And we've got the little village, the reindeer and Santa across the moon, which is really great. Oh, I forgot to show you the lining. That's the most fun part. Look how cute that is. It's gold snowflakes. Very fun. All right. What do we got? 2 more here, Claire? Okay, so this one's for Charlie, stitched by Gretchen. I love that we know who the recipient is because it just says it loud and proud at the top there. So this is Charlie's stocking. I like the other thing that I think is fun to look at when we get a whole grouping of stockings is the way that the names are done. Some of them are in big blocks. Some of them are in all caps. Some of them are in upper and lower. There is really no right way to do the name on the top of a stocking. The people always say like, well, what should I do? And there's really, or like, what, how am I supposed to do it is the question. There's no supposed way to do this. You can do, every person in your family could have a different font based on what you like or the style of the stocking. But this one's really sweet with the upper. That would be what's called sans serif. So this is a block font. This, I'm just going to use as an example, is a serif font. So the serif is the little extra line on the sides of the letters. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but sans serif and serif font. Just as again a point of reference, if you're trying to give us some details on how you would like things done on your stocking. So sweet Santa with his stars. I like how she did 2 different colored stars. Can you see how there's like a copper and then sort of a gold? Really good. The navy with the welting, and then huzzah, the red and white stripe. I love it. Awesome. All right, next we've got one for Kyle. Kyle's was stitched by Lynn. Really sweet. Let's see here. Kyle's stocking features some geese, and I guess we'll call that Santa the Duck Hunter. Is that the right way to do that? He's got a little dog that looks a lot like, whoopsie, looks a lot like our dog. Little black dog. That's right, little lab. I love the green on here. This is really pretty. Oh, this is something that I discussed, I think maybe last week, or maybe I've talked about it before. Do you see this striae in the sky here? So this is using an overdye thread. And I was discussing that you can either do it in basket weave, which would give it that diagonal, but if you choose an overdyed thread to do it in continental stitch, going back and forth, it makes the sky look more striae, like more like hazy versus the diagonal. Does that make sense? So this looks like it might have been maybe a watercolors or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I really like that heavily overdyed use for the sky there. So very, very cool. There's also some great beads in there in that garland. The hunter green is awesome. The buffalo check on the inside is absolutely perfect. So this is really darling. So well done, Lynn, and that is for Kyle. All right, we're gonna end things here with pillows. So first we have this sweet little pillow. I don't know if, oh, I do know. How cute is this? So what I was gonna say, so this is for Betsy. What I don't know is this going to be used as the ring bearer pillow? Or is this just a really darling little pillow for the couple? Either way, this is a sweet message on the back. It gives all the details of the wedding. And I just think it's great. So this would be a really sweet memory and or a great ring bearer pillow. If you choose to have this as a ring bearer pillow and we didn't put the the ribbon through it for you, you could just simply attach a little ribbon here. Just tack it on with a little thread, or just have them carry it without the rings. Either way. So Betsy, this is really beautiful. This is a Rachel Donnelly piece. And it's part of her mini letter collection. And yeah, the welting, this is a contrast welting with the blue, but it's all done in velvet. Really, really pretty, soft. All right, hand that one off. Thank you. All right, next we've got, this actually made me giggle when I saw it here. This is for Katie. Glad you got to see me. Cracks me up. This would be so cute, like in an office, like if someone came in and saw you, like an appointment or something, or just in general, this is pretty funny. So glad you got to see me with this beautiful red. This is no inset as a reminder. So the beautiful kind of cranberry red linen fabric with the tone-on-tone welt. Really sweet. I like that a lot. So well done, Katie. Love that one. All right, a couple left here. So this is funny too. So this is for Kristen. Oh my gosh, this is our Kristen, um, an unknown legend in her own time. Makes me laugh. These things are so fun. This is very cute the way this is styled. So we've got the green leopard on the interior inset with the mitered corner here. We've got, this is a box edge pillow with a contrast welt and a contrast gusset. So there's 3 different fabrics going on here. The colors just sing. This is really great. I love it. An unknown legend in her own time. This, I don't even know who the designer is, but it's pretty funny. So if you need to know, let us know. We can try to find that one for you. I do know who the designer of this one is. This is a Jean Smith pillow. I love Jean Smith. This is for Malia, our customer Malia. I want to make sure I have this going right side up here. I believe I do. This is fun the way this one was put together. So you'll see here that the same fabric was used for the inset, the welt, and the back, but the back and the front are going 2 different directions. So you see how the all 4 sides of this, actually, so this goes this way, and then this goes this way. So cute. So the welting is done so well on this, I can't even see the seam. Here's the seam. So the seam is almost always on the bottom, but this is done so well and hidden so well. This is all basket weave. Malia, as you might remember, is our friend who's a flight attendant on Southwest. Actually, I can see the way this is going based on the stitching. Yeah, we got this right. And so she does a lot of stitching in flight. And so I know that she travels a lot with these larger pieces and just does all basket weave. And I know it's mindful and it's helpful in stressful situations. And so we love, this is so pretty. We do not have this Jean Smith in stock, but we do have this one that I think would be a really beautiful pillow pair. This is the cornflower. The colors are really great. It's just a great canvas. And Malia kept the background on hers pretty creamy and kind of more like a, I would call it like an ivory. That would be beautiful on this one, but this would also be really pretty with a really soft green, a soft yellow, a soft pink, even like a lavender would be pretty. So we have a lot of these canvases. I just chose my favorite one from the wall, but you can do, search on our website for Jean Smith and you'll find all of these 13 count mesh canvases that are just a delight to stitch. So last one, thank you, Claire. And last is for our friend Teresa. I was just with Teresa at a retreat not too long ago. This is a stunner. Look at how big this is. I'm trying to hold it up for scale. This is so, so pretty. First of all, this canvas is great. I think she changed that saying, I do not believe that. I think this says number 5 or maybe it says nothing, but I love that this is good juju. This is so clever, Teresa. First of all, the stitching and the colors are outstanding, but the finishing, this is one of my, we do have this for one of our pillows at our house. We love this fabric. It's a flocked leopard print, navy blue. This is one of my very favorite colors, this like acidy green. Love it so much. And you can see here that the welting matches the perfume bottle. So good. So again, box edge finish with contrast welt. So this is an inset pillow, box edge with a contrast welt and the color that is just absolutely perfection. A little bit of sparkle. I believe that this is a Thorn Alexander piece. And this good juju, I might have to steal this. This is so, so great. So thank you for tuning into the Finishing Forecast here on YouTube. As a reminder, Claire wants to get her little cameo in. As a reminder, if you have any questions about anything you saw here, if you have any questions about any of the designs or questions about our finishing, send us an email at stlneedlepoint.com or give us a call at 314-432-2555. And we hope that you continue to enjoy this format here on YouTube. And yeah, I think that's it. Have a great day.